Everyone. Likely going to be my last live stream of the day. This is a topic that I've been wanting to talk about for 2 or 3 days now. And this is the Ray Dalio quote, "Cash is trash." He first put this out there in mid-January, and he actually doubled down on it on April 16th. So Ray still believes this, still believes cash is trash. And it's still something we need to talk about because first off, he's a billionaire and he has the ability to invest with a long-term horizon. You and I simply don't have the balance sheet and income statement to kind of support everything that he's doing. So I thought I would talk about it, put it in context, really talk about how I am using that concept of cash is trash to change our financial future. But first, let's realize what he's saying. When he is saying cash is trash, he's essentially comparing it to other investable assets. Cash is, for the most part, given current interest rates, a non-income producing thing. It is something that will likely deteriorate in value as we reflate. There is just a printing press on high. So each dollar is, it's deflationary. It will lose purchasing power. And most importantly, when you really peel back, what I think Ray Dalio is talking about is cash is not going to do well in a reflationary environment. When the economy gets kickstarted, and even if it's starting to sputter and spin and move forward and lurch and do all those things that it will do as it gets up to humming again, cash is it's not going to be the asset you want to be in. So when you hear cash is trash, or at least when I hear cash is trash, he is already talking about the future, right? He is already talking about the future. And I don't know about you, but I don't have the balance sheet and income statement to always bet on the future and be that early, right? He is already there. What I did is I got to cash. I went to cash in Q4, actually, before this event. I did that again, as I've shared on this channel many times, by selling apartment buildings. I thought they were overvalued. There were too many syndicators out there paying stupid prices. And as I've said in our book, when houses are expensive, I sell. When apartments are expensive, I sell. So we went to cash in Q4. And I had no interest as this health event started to build in January, February, and March, worked its way from east to the west, to deploy capital. Ray Dalio, again, under the mindset of cash is trash, suffered a huge Q1 hit, well, at least huge in my opinion. He lost 20% in his funds because he was not comfortable sitting on cash. I'm extremely comfortable sitting on cash and thankfully was able to do that. I do agree with Ray that as we get forward, get through this event and the economy starts to kickstart, it will be time to deploy cash. I just don't have that. I don't want to, have that ability. I'm not going to wait. I'm not going to invest early, I guess is what I'm saying. I'm going to wait until the economy gets going and starts to sputter like a moped or something back in the day that just kind of lurches forward. Ray has the ability to invest early. He could suffer a 20% loss in a quarter, where I would prefer not to do that. Cash is a less volatile asset. And that's why I held it, right? We raised it in Q3, Q4 of 19, and we held it, didn't do a thing with it in Q1, right? January, February, March, cash balance didn't change. They slashed interest rates from whatever it was, 1 3/4 to 0, didn't do a thing. Money market accounts went from 1.5% to 0, didn't do a thing. So cash is less volatile. So I was comfortable holding it. I will likely be comfortable holding cash through Q2, right? I don't think we've seen the worst of it. I think the stock market is another leg down. I think the tech wreck is coming. I've been talking about it. And I'm happy to be wrong. Stock market goes up from here. We have a vaccine created on Wednesday next week. Great. I missed out. I believe in the old Warren Buffett saying or something. It goes something like this, right? Rule number one is to not lose money. Rule number two is don't forget rule number one. So I would rather miss the uptick where Ray is like, no, I'll be early. So I think that's really what Ray's talking about. I think in the long term, cash is trash, but I do think there's a time. And thankfully, we were early. So we may be holding more cash for 4 to 6 quarters. And I'm okay with that. I certainly won't be holding it for 4 to 6 years. Cash is trash in that lens. So when I hear Ray talk about this, I think it's interesting. The thing that I would tell investors or folks that watch me is being early, there are no heroes being early, right? When you're a billionaire like Ray Dalio and you have the ability to do that, go for it. But you and I aren't there. I would rather miss the first 10% of the rally than lose 20% on the downside. That's just me. I was burned by the dot-com crash. I have a long documented history of the stock market hurting me. So that's why I stick to real estate. That's why I learn my market every day. That's why I can identify a deal better than most people in my market. It's because I've looked every day for 20 years. Real estate is just the place for me. I am going to sit on cash probably for 4 to 6 quarters. And that's okay with me. So I again agree, Ray Dalio. He's one of those guys that I watch that cash is trash in 4 to 6 years. I just don't think cash is trash in 4 to 6 quarters. So that's what I think. Let me know what you think. I'm certainly comfortable being in cash today as we sit in April. Will I be as comfortable in August or October? I don't know. But I'm certainly happy to be in cash today. So that's what I think Ray Dalio's cash is trash concept. Again, first came out in January and he doubled down on April 16th. So I wanted to share my thoughts with you. Let me know what you think. Have a wonderful day. Bye.